up, you guys? Welcome back to another one. If you are new to the channel, I am Gold Pony. I do new car, truck, SUV reviews on YouTube, and today we're in the brand new 2026 BMW 430i Coupe, courtesy of BMW of York in York, PA. For more information on their inventory, please feel free to check out the link in the description box below. So we're in this one today because it's got that incredible coupe-like design. Of course, you got a decor red interior. Also love that. And to be quite honest, there's not many luxury coupes left in the world right now. I think you got the Mercedes-Benz CLE and the Lexus RC, and that's probably about it at this point. But ultimately in this video, we will be testing out and going over everything about this one, from acceleration to braking, steering feel, ride quality, sound system, exhaust clip, all that fun stuff. So having said all of that, what do you guys say? Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And as always, let's start with pricing. And so there are essentially two different configurations for the 2026 430i Coupe. You got the regular rear-wheel drive variant starting at $52,600, and then you got the X-Drive Coupe starting at $54,600. But regardless of the configuration that you go with, the power plant on this one is going to be the same. Powering the beast is a 2-liter twin-power turbocharged inline 4-cylinder, putting out 255 horsepower, 6,500 RPM, 294 pound-feet of torque, coming in at right around 1,500 RPM. That power being sent to rear wheels or all wheels through an 8-speed automatic with paddle shifters, which of course you guys know we will be testing out here in a little bit. 0 to 60 time is going to come in at approximately 5.6 seconds for the rear wheel drive, 5.4 seconds then for the all-wheel drive. Top speed 155 miles per hour. That's respectable there, with MPG numbers coming in at 28 in the city, 36 on the highway for the rear wheel drive. That's really good. 27 city, 34 then on the highway for the all-wheel drive, taking premium unleaded fuel. But said that before we do any kind of fun acceleration or paddle shifter test here in the 430i Coupe, I did want to mention to you guys the drive modes. So there's a series of buttons located just to the left of the shifter there. Drive modes are going to include Comfort, Eco, Pro, and Sport, adjusting things like the shift points, the throttle response, and the steering sensitivity. So now having got all of that out of the way, what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and find a straightaway. Let's put the paddle shifters here to the test first, and let's see how quickly these paddle shifters are going to react for us here. All right, so I put it in Sport Plus driving mode. We are in full manual shift mode right now, and yes, it is a full manual shift mode, so that's nice. It's holding the gear in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, two things there. It's kind of cool when you shift gears, it kind of throws you forward as you shift the gear. I do like that. However, there is a little bit of a delay to the paddle shifters. Surprisingly, I feel like the X5 and the X7 I just got done driving had quicker reacting paddle shifters than the 430i Coupe. But nonetheless, they're still there. You can use them for engine braking when it starts snowing out or something like that if you wanted to, but they're plenty fine. They're still cool that they're there. But now let's go ahead and find one more straightaway. I'm gonna give back full control to the 430i here, and let's see how quickly we can get this one here up to speed. All right, found my straightaway in 3, 2, 1, go. There it is. Ah, that's fun, man. Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay at the very beginning, so a little bit of turbo lag there, but once you get higher up in the RPMs, this thing definitely goes, man. That's plenty of an acceleration. Yeah, plenty of an acceleration to merge you onto any highway here in the US. That was definitely fun, so you're not going to be disappointed with that. But to go along with that acceleration, as always, braking is equally important. And so up front, you will find 13.7-inch ventilated front discs. In the back, 13.6-inch solid rear discs. As far as that 6-0 stopping distance goes, it comes in at an insanely impressive 105 feet. That's a brilliant number. That's better than a sports sedan. That's a sports car number right there, and I love it. But as far as braking feel goes, yeah, that's great. Definitely on the firmer side of things. Instantly brings you to a stop, so 100% not going to have any issues when it comes to the braking. But then touching on suspension and handling, up front you're going to get a strut-type front suspension. In the back, independent multi-link rear suspension, front and rear stabilizer bars. Did want to mention though, if you go with the M Sport package, it goes for $2,450. That actually gives you an M Sport suspension. Go figure. But that essentially just means you're going to get stiffer springs and dampers, so maybe you'll feel a little bit more of the road, but you're also going to get a lot better handling with that particular package. And then the other thing I want to mention when it comes to the suspension is the dynamic handling package. That one goes for $1,500, and that essentially is your adaptive damping suspension. And that's one I always like to recommend. I always love those because it monitors each shock absorber individually, not only adjusting to the road imperfections, giving you a smoother ride, but it also tightens up that suspension during heavy cornering, giving you better handling as well. So that one gives you the best of both worlds, and that's the one I would always recommend. because specifically you really notice it with the ride quality. So at least that's what I really notice it with, just driving around town in these things. It is a noticeable smoother ride when you go with that adaptive damping suspension. But overall, speaking of, as far as ride quality goes in our short little test drive here today, it's been plenty fine. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with the ride quality here in the 430i Coupe. Now, I will say it's not quite as smooth as the X7 I just got done driving with the 2-axle self-leveling air suspension, but it's still plenty fine. You're not going to have any issues with that. Touching on steering feel, it does adjust pretty substantially dependent upon the drive mode that you put it in. So when you put it in that sport driving mode, it's a much heavier weight to the steering. It instantly points you in the direction that you want to go. And then when you take it out of that, you put it back in Comfort or Eco Pro, it does loosen up pretty substantially. Still a little bit more on the heavier side of things, which I personally prefer, but it does give you a looser steering feel overall. So it's a little bit of something for everybody, which I personally love. Touching on cabiners, are going 25 miles per hour right now. It's definitely a pretty serene cabin at 25 miles per hour. At higher speeds, you get a lot of that engine sound, which I am a huge fan of, so definitely not going to have any issues with that. But then touching on rear visibility, looking out my rear view mirror here at that mail truck, I can see perfectly fine out the back there. Definitely not going to have any issues with that. Even with this being a coupe, I can still see perfectly fine out the back. Rain sensing windshield wipers, though, they do come standard on this thing, so whenever the 430i detects any kind of mist or rainfall, it's going to automatically turn on the windshield wipers for it. So just one less thing you got to worry about, kind of like automatic headlights. And if you're ready to go with the premium package, which goes for $2,100, you also get a head-up display, which apparently we don't have with us here today because oh wait, there it is. It's just sitting a little bit low. I got to sit up in the seat a little bit, and you can adjust that, by the way. So I'm looking at a head-up display right now. It's giving me my speed limit, a cool little design. And the other cool thing with BMW, they do this better than everybody else out there. When you change the drive mode, it's going to adjust the look of the head-up display, not just the gauges, the head-up display as well. So in Eco Pro, you're looking at like an Ethereum logo. In Sport, it gives you this completely different look, a bunch of red hues there. I like that. And then in Comfort driving mode, it's just more of a basic look, but it still looks really darn good. And it's very bright without polarized sunglasses on, I'll say that. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of that as well, assisting with forward visibility. But that pretty much rounds out the performance segment of this review, you guys. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the exterior of our brand new 2026 BMW 430i Coupe. All right, so here she is, you guys, the new 2026 BMW 430i Coupe, finished in sapphire black, which I think is like a $600 paint option in case you were curious. But as always, let's go ahead and start with where the 430i is made, taking a look at the VIN. First character is the letter W, indicating that this one is built and assembled in Germany, specifically Dingolfing, Germany. Let me know if I said that right, but anyways, let's go ahead and start up front. BMW active kidney grille does come standard, meaning the grille shutters are going to open and close dependent upon the engine cooling that is needed at any given time. Also, you're going to get a more aggressive look with the M Sport package. I wanted to mention that to you guys because we do have it with us here today. A lot more gloss black accents with that one as well. To the sides, full LED headlights with LED daytime running lights. You get the automatic feature with those. You also get automatic high beams. I like these little lights surrounding the headlights there too. They look pretty darn good. You also have some front air curtains down to the bottom corners there, helping direct air around the wheel and tire combination for a little better aerodynamics there as well. But that pretty much rounds out the front end. Let's now go ahead and swing around to the side. All right, and so now since we are around to the side of this one, gloss black or silver window surrounds, dependent upon the configuration that you go with. Body colored power adjustable side mirrors. They will be heated with LED integrated turn signals. Then taking a look down at the wheel setup, 18-inch alloys do come standard. Get 19-inch M specific alloys for that M Sport package that we have with us here today. They got the M logo on them. That's how you can tell. And then there are 18-inch and 19-inch wheel designs available. And you gotta love those red brake calipers behind the wheels as well. They look pretty darn good. But that pretty much rounds out the side profile. Let's now go ahead and swing around to the back. All right, so now since we are around to the back of this one, all the way to the top, body colored shark fin antenna. Just below that, you do have a center high mount stop lamp back there. You have a rear lip spoiler, a rear deck lid spoiler, also coming standard on this one. As far as the tail lights go, you do get LED laser light tail lights, and they have a pretty darn cool design to them. A lot of different little logos within the tail lights too, which is kind of interesting. But anyways, dual exhaust outlets to the very bottom. They're either going to get bright tips or gloss black tips. We have the gloss black, obviously. So having said that, I do believe you guys know what we have to do next here. As always, here is that exhaust clip. So now since we are around to the back of the 430i here, when it comes to opening that trunk, it is going to be a power trunk with the convenience package. It goes for $600. We actually do have that, so we got the power trunk. That's pretty cool. But there is a button on the key fob, and then there's a button on the trunk itself to go ahead and open it and close it as well, which is pretty cool because it is a power trunk, like I said. But once opened up, cargo capacity comes in at 12 cubic feet. If that was not enough space, there are some levers in the cargo area to go ahead and fold those rear seats down. It's going to give you plenty of extra space then if you needed it. There's actually a grocery bag hook back there. I was surprised to see that. You got LED cargo lighting back there as well, a little bit of netted storage, so plenty going on in the cargo area there. But then making our way up to the rear legroom, because this is a 2+2 seater, 34.5 inches of rear legroom actually, which is pretty substantial. So for reference, I'm an even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I had in the back there. And in addition to that, you actually surprisingly have a rear center armrest with cup holders, which is pretty standard in sedans, but very rare in coupes. So I liked seeing that. But then make your way up to the front seats. Power adjustable front seats do come standard, of course. Sensitech upholstery coming standard, aka leatherette, or a Vernasca leather you can get for $1,500 if you wanted to go that option. Heated front seats coming standard. You got memory settings for up to 2 different drivers. That's located kind of within the speaker on the driver's side door here. And then ventilated front seats go for $500 if you wanted those. But overall, as far as seat comfort goes, honestly didn't have any issues. So the seat comfort was plenty fine for me. Then taking a look at the steering wheel, this is one of my favorite parts. It's tilt and telescoping. This is an M specific steering wheel because we had the M Sport package. So we got the flat bottom, we got the M logo at the bottom. The 10-2 grips are absolutely massive. I love that. It gives me a better feeling of being in control. It is leather wrapped, it's power adjustable, and it's heated then with the convenience package as well. But now let's go ahead and make our way to the startup. Let me start by showing you guys the key. Of course, you got your M colors on the side of the key because this is an M Sport after all. Got lock, unlock, that button to pop the trunk there. And by the way, the BMW button is the lock button, but remote start is going to come with the premium package, but otherwise it is all keyless entry with a push button start. So all I'm going to do here is simply put my foot on the brake and press that silver engine start button located just to the left of the shifter there. And so once started up, you do have a digital gauge cluster. Gauges definitely look good, and again, they adjust dependent upon the drive mode that you put it in. Eco Pro is going to give you a bunch of blue hues. Honestly, I think that one looks the best. Sport gives you a bunch of red hues, and it sounds like it opens up the exhaust valve as well, actually. And then Comfort Driving Mode gives you a bunch of tan and blue hues, so that looks good as well. But of course, it gives you how many miles you have left until you hit empty. There's time of the day, outside temperature, digital speedometer, pretty much everything you could possibly want on a digital gauge cluster. But now, let's go ahead and make our way to overall interior quality. A power moonroof is going to come standard. You got a universal garage door opener for up to 3 different garage doors on the bottom portion of that frameless rear view mirror. You gotta love that. Auto dimming rear view mirror, by the way, as well. Wireless phone charger is going to be located just in front of the cup holders up front here. Just behind that, obviously, you have the cup holders. Everything surrounding the push button start and the shifter and everything, that's all kind of this cool silver texturized finish. So I do like texturized finishes. That's just below the infotainment screen here as well. Just underneath of that, though, you can see a little bit of that red ambient lighting I turned on. I think that's going to look really good at night, but just looks okay right now. And then within the center armrest, you have my camera charger in there, so USB charging port, gotta love that. Decent amount of space, nothing crazy though. But by the way, aluminum or wood trims are also available. I did want to mention that too. But overall, as far as the interior quality goes, this is a BMW. Certainly not going to have any issues in this thing. But now let's go ahead and make our way to the infotainment screen. This is a 14.9-inch infotainment screen. It is a touch screen, or there is a circular dial and buttons just to the right of the shifter in typical BMW fashion there. Get Bluetooth and audio streaming, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, factory navigation system up there as well. You can adjust your ambient lighting settings as well. There's a little icon for weather. I'm going to go ahead and hit that, and you got weather information apparently up there. That's pretty cool. And of course, your radio information. So when it comes to the sound systems, there are 2 of them. 10-speaker hi-fi sound system coming standard. However, there is a Harman Kardon sound system with the premium package. We do actually have that Harman Kardon sound system with us here today. So let's go ahead and turn on the radio. Let's see what we got playing today, and let's test out the clarity of this one. Plenty of bass there. My seat was rumbling a little bit, so there's definitely subwoofers in this thing. Plenty of clarity. Honestly, that's a brilliant sound system for what this car is. Harman Kardon's been crushing it lately, I feel like, especially in BMW. But last thing I wanted to mention to you guys on the infotainment screen is when you do put the 430i in reverse, you will find a rear view camera coming standard across the board, and then the 360-degree monitor there to the right as well. And by the way, that comes with a parking assistance package for $700 if you wanted that. But that, as always, is going to lead us into safety. And so to start, this one is not yet rated by IIHS. That's typically what I like to mention first, but front side curtain airbags do come standard. You get a driver's knee airbag up front as well. In the back, you got latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children, tire pressure monitoring system, but also there's plenty of advanced safety available, including blind spot detection, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, front and rear parking sensors, and traffic sign recognition, just to name a few. But overall, when it comes to my final thoughts, brilliant design. I love that there are still luxury coupes available because there's only like a few of them right now, so big fan of that in general. Great interior quality in typical BMW fashion. I think the only two room for improvements I could think of on this one is there's no manual available. That's probably because nobody was buying the manual. That's typically why they get rid of something. If everyone was buying it, they would still have it. But if you did want a manual in a BMW, just go with the Toyota Supra I just got done reviewing recently. So anyways, the other thing is this one can get quite pricey quite quick in typical BMW fashion. There's so many different options you can add on to this one. But anyways, let me know what you guys think of the 430i Coupe in the comments below, and if you would get one. That's about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to follow me on social media stuff if you want to see what's coming next on the channel before it gets to YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe with the bell notification button if you're into new car reviews. This is what I've been doing here for 11 years now. Do appreciate you guys watching more than you know, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Stay gold.